Some experiments are conducted in laboratories, others are conducted on landscapes and on people who have never agreed to take part. Operation Green Run was one of those. In December 1949, shortly after World War II, the United States was racing to understand nuclear weapons, not only its own, but those being developed elsewhere. At the Hanford nuclear site in Washington State, officials authorized a classified test designed to measure how radioactive material would travel through the atmosphere. The operation was called Green Run. During the test, large amounts of radioactive iodine were deliberately released into the air. Unlike routine emissions, the fuel was not fully processed, allowing higher levels of radiation to escape. The purpose, according to declassified documents, was to improve detection capabilities and gather data relevant to national security. This intent is documented fact. What was not shared at the time was the human exposure. Nearby communities, including families, farmers, and indigenous populations, were not informed. They went about their lives as radioactive material drifted across fields, towns, and water sources. Decades later, as documents were declassified, the operation became public knowledge. Investigations confirmed that the release occurred and that civilians were exposed without consent. That reality matters. It is not speculation, it is part of the historical record. When secrecy overrides consent, the consequences don't end when the test does. What remains debated is the scale of harm. Some studies suggest the radiation doses were relatively low compared to other nuclear exposures. Others argue that even low-level exposure, especially to iodine-131, can increase long-term health risks, particularly thyroid disease. Definitive conclusions have proven difficult. Records are incomplete, exposure varied, time blurred the data. For those who lived nearby, the question was never abstract, it was personal. Parents wondered about illnesses. Farmers questioned contaminated land. Communities wrestled with the knowledge that they had been treated as variables, not participants. Operation Green Run was not an isolated event. It emerged from an era when scientific urgency often eclipsed ethics, when the boundaries of knowledge were pushed faster than safeguards could follow. Understanding that context does not erase responsibility, but it helps explain how such decisions were made. Today, Operation Green Run stands as both a scientific milestone and a cautionary tale. It reminds us that progress pursued in secrecy can leave lasting shadows, even when intentions are framed as protective. Operation Green Run was never meant to be remembered, but the people affected never forgot. Between national security and human dignity, a line was crossed, quietly, deliberately, and without consent. History cannot undo that moment, but it can remember it clearly, honestly, and with the humanity that was missing the first time.